Hello guys, this is Dakarazu from GMAT Lounge. You're looking at a question we already solved in a previous recording, and we did that the conventional way. Here we're gonna be do it a little bit differently. Okay. Now, usually I like to pick numbers in my second way of doing things, recipe 2. But here I will not be picking a number, like maybe n equal 2, 3, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna show you an interesting way of doing this type of question. Okay, so follow me please. So, if n is positive, which of the following is equal to 1 over root of n plus 1 minus root of n? If you are careful about what you're reading, you'll realize that this is the reciprocal of root of n plus 1 minus root of n. Because you have a 1 on top and you have a number, this is the reciprocal of the bottom number. Okay? So, in order to remind you of what a reciprocal is, I'm sure most of you know this, but you never know. So, I would say that x and y are reciprocal of each other if the product xy equal 1. Now, I hope you know what the term reciprocal means, but I know that in some countries they use inverse. Okay? So here in the US, it's called reciprocal. Okay? So in that case, obviously, as you know, y would be equal to 1 over x, and obviously x would be also equal to 1 over y. No problem. Okay? So, in this question, you are being asked, let me write it down, you are being asked the reciprocal, among the answer choices, you are being asked the reciprocal of root of n plus 1 minus root of n, because root of n plus 1 minus root of n is at the bottom, and 1 over that. Okay, you're being asked the reciprocal of root of n plus 1 minus root of n. Now, you can go ahead, if you want, and look at all these answer choices and multiply each of them by root of n plus 1 minus root of n to see which one is going to give you 1. Whichever give you 1 should be the answer. And trust me, only one of them should give you 1. But again, it may be a, I don't know, painstaking process. I'm going to save you time and energy. Okay? I'm going to show you the answer that's going to be always true, no matter what n you have, as long as n is a non-negative number. Okay, so I will say always the reciprocal of root of n plus 1 minus root of n is root of n plus 1 plus root of n for every n that is greater or equal to 0. This is actually for all real numbers greater or equal to 0. N doesn't have to be an integer. And conversely also, by the way, when I say reciprocal, when I say that x is a reciprocal of y, it also means that y is a reciprocal of x. Okay? So, I don't have to write it. Root of n plus 1 plus root of n is a reciprocal of root of n plus 1 minus root of n, but also root of n plus 1 minus root of n is a reciprocal of root of n plus 1 plus root of n. They are reciprocal of each other. Okay? So, if you want, 1 over root of n plus 1 minus root of n is equal to root of n plus 1 plus root of n. Because remember, this is a reciprocal of this. This whole thing is a reciprocal of this, so this is equal to that. I just, okay. Also, for the same reason, 1 over root of n plus 1 plus root of n is equal to root of n plus 1 minus root of n. And you could see that easily. Look at, you can just do a cross multiplication here. If you do a cross multiplication, you realize that this is true. And this is for every n non-negative again. So, for example, one of root of 3 minus root of 2 is equal to root of 3 plus root of 2. And this is true for every n, again, non-negative. I repeat that. So if you had 1 over 102 minus the root of 102 minus the root of 101, going to give you root of 102 plus root of 101. As you can see, n plus 1 and n, you have two consecutive numbers here. I mean, if they are integers, we can call them two consecutive integers. But frankly, they don't have to be integers. They don't have to be integers. As you can see in the question here, there's nothing that talks about integers. But for obviously integers, it could be even more simple. Okay? So again, on the GMAT, they may not quite give you this exactly or this. They may give you this squared. Do not worry. If you square this, if they were to give you this square is the same as this whole thing right here, square, and you know how to deal with that. If they give you, again, this thing is square, it's the same as saying that this right here is squared. And you can deal with that. You know how to square things. You know, x plus y square. Okay? So the answer, as you can see here, is E. E is the correct answer. Okay? I hope you appreciate this way of doing it, you know, so you don't have to recreate the wheel every time. Okay? So again, this is Dakar Azu from GMAT Lounge. Thank you for watching.